Brennan, I'm going to be honest. I couldn't get the music queued up in time, and Nelly Country Grammar
Nelly,
was.
That's fine.
I love
Sure.
Nelly. We're the Lou Information Station. It's Nelly. It was just fine. Brennan
He's like our
Schaefer.
mascot. I mean, that's fine.
He is. He's St. Louis's
If
mascot.
that was the clean edition, though, you don't want to get popped for any FCC fines. No, don't turn it back up. It might not be. Check.
It was the clean version. It was the clean version. Don't worry. Good. So you've had an uneventful week, right? Has anything happened in your week?
Not a lot. No. This week I've been a homebody.
Yeah.
Because our baby keeps us awake at all hours of the night. So yeah, new baby came last Tuesday, so a little over a week from today, and it's a boy, Riley Jean Schaefer, and we're pumped up about it, and we are definitely sleep deprived. That is the nature of the beast. I'm very much, it's surreal to have two boys. Last night I was throwing the little play football around with my 3-year-old. And just can't wait to be doing it with both of them. So, yeah, it's awesome. But
correct?
Yeah, she's, I hope, taking a little nap right now. You sleep when they sleep. That's what they say. So, everybody's doing good.
And the wonderful Jim Hayes was in here, and he wants to 1, say hello, 2, say congratulations, and 3, say he misses you.
Well, I miss it's very nice of him to pass along those messages. Yeah, I'll see him soon.
So Riley, though, I believe, is 0-2 now as a Missouri Tiger fan.
Not quite, because they did play Auburn Wednesday, and so we were in the hospital room watching that. That was his first game, and so both my sons' first Mizzou game go down as wins.
Okay,
because Riley gets the Auburn game. Gabe didn't really get a good one. It was the opener in 2022. I don't even remember who they played, SEMO or
would that have been South Dakota
for football? Yeah, I don't remember which one it was, but it was maybe I don't know. Now I'm gonna have to go back and look it up. That was a football game. He was born in September, and that was like August 31st was the game. So I guess technically he wasn't even actually born yet for that one. So
and it was all downhill from there.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
All downhill. Wait, was his first game then the Kansas State game? Or was that 2 years ago? That was 2 years ago.
I was going to say, now I really need to look this up because that would be kind of crazy. It's funny, Grant, because you bring up the Kansas State game, and that was the game. I was in the same spot in my house, in my living room, watching that MIZ kick as I was to watch MIZ's most recent kick, and I didn't react as strongly to the most recent MIZ kick. I really did want the Bears to win that game. Yeah. We're a Mizzou show, but
Luther's on that team too. So wait, what day is Gabe born on?
His first game was the bad Kansas State game, unfortunately. Yeah.
Well, for Riley, it's all downhill from Auburn.
I know.
Should we get into yesterday's game? Do we want to talk about it? You said you said first that you're a bad dad, and I had to ask you about it.
I was gonna call myself out.
Yep.
I'm gonna do this on the big show today too. I'm a bad parent.
Yes.
Because watching that game last night, now Gabriel was already asleep, so I tell him the next day whether the Tigers won or lost. I didn't even bring it up today. He didn't ask because I just didn't have the heart to tell him. Riley, I think, was in and out. Right, he's not really locked in yet. He'll get there.
Mm-hmm.
But my wife is sitting on the couch next to me, and I'm doing what I do when it's a one possession game and there's 10 seconds left or whatever. I'm like standing 3 feet from the screen, grabbing my pockets and like just a wreck. I have to stand up, right?
Yeah, I'd have to do the same.
And so it's so funny because they call timeout. I go sit back on the couch. They get back and I stand back up again. I'm like, oh, it's a timeout for me too. So anyway, I'm watching Sean Phillips try to defend a 5'10" guy. Failed to foul him, but not foul him hard enough that he misses the layup. And so I'm disappointed. I watch T.O. Barrett act like there's 55 seconds instead of 5.5 seconds left in the game as he's bringing the ball up to half court. It's the pass to Cruz, the 30-foot heave
40
off the rim. Well, I called it 40 in a tweet. It was probably not 40. I don't really know the dimensions, but it was a ridiculously long shot. They could have had something better for 5.5. They were only down by 2, Grant. They weren't down by 3. I get it. You want to try to win it there, but if you're T.O. Barrett, you have to race down the floor. And then he's a great passer. Look at what's there. If you can kick it, great. If you don't, like, I don't know, have the internal clock, make a play. It was a disaster. But the reason I'm a bad parent, game's over. I sit down and I just have this realization and I say it out loud. I'm like, sports do not bring me any pleasure. And my wife's like, probably being dramatic, but they bring me no pleasure. All there ever is this, right? And it's like, Brendan, it's a mid-season basketball game on a Tuesday in January. It's going to be okay. But, man, this is what it always seems to feel like. And so I'm a bad parent because I am introducing the next generation to this. I am willingly bringing them in, Grant, to this whole mess of a fandom.
Yeah, maybe
they're going to care. They're going to be emotionally invested as well. I think I'm setting them up to fail.
Yeah. Well, I think you're too far gone with Gabriel. I think he's already bought in.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
Maybe you should purposely raise Riley to like other things. And if he comes to it on his own, that's his fault. But maybe it's like a test. What kid like lives a happier test. Life? One that doesn't care about Mizzou and one that loves Mizzou. I think I know the answer.
Would I sub in a different team just for the experiment? Or would I just say, no, just like steer him kind of away from sports?
I think steer him away.
Go do some knitting, because like the other local teams, the Cardinals, good luck. The Blues, you missed it. We had a once in a century opportunity and you weren't here for it.
That's done. So, it's never happening
that's
again.
Over. That already happened. So what is it? SLU basketball? I mean, maybe that's the play.
The team that's, made 5 NCAA tournaments in the last 70 years.
But they're good this year. So, maybe they keep it rolling under shirts for a little while, and Riley can be a SLU fan first and foremost. And
he's awesome.
SLU. Gabe knows we like SLU, but
I love SLU.
We're Mizzou first. And so that's an interesting theory. I wonder if I could pull off that experiment. That would be probably actually an example of bad parenting to just say, I'm going to make my kids be the lab rats. But seriously, Gabe came by this honestly. I made him into a Mizzou fan, and now he is one, and he cares. He's old enough to care. I'm a bad parent. I shouldn't have done this. I shouldn't have got them into this fandom.
Does he cry when they lose yet?
No, he doesn't. I cry more than he does.
So
he'll say, "Oh, Dad, they'll try again next time."
I feel like he's a little too young. I feel like if I remember, like the 5 to about 9, maybe 10 range was like the most I ever cried. I think I was 8 or 9 when they lost to Norfolk State. I bawled.
Me too, and I was like 22 years old. I was a senior in high school for that.
Yeah.
One. My next year was my first year at Mizzou. But no, I wonder though. I wonder if and this would be very difficult, but if I just am stone-faced watching games from now on, like he sees that I'm not invested, so maybe he won't even know that there's a way to be invested. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But that's not going to work. I just told you I stand up 2 feet from the screen with my hands in my pockets. I didn't yell or break anything. I just sat back down, dejected like always. But
mine was kind of a hands thrown in the air, like, what are they doing?
You want to like mumble something to yourself. You want to scream, but you don't. So you kind of mumble to yourself something incoherent, and then you sit back down.
Yeah, if I was by myself, but I was with my girlfriend, you can't you gotta
girlfriend. That's I'm trying to think. I didn't really. How much sports did I go like before I was married? I think my wife and I went to one Mizzou game while we were in school. And I can't remember if we were married because we did get married while we were in school. But I cannot remember. She just and it worked out, man, because I would go with my friends who all cared about it as much as I did. And she didn't care. She still doesn't really care, but she'll go now because she sees that our son is interested in it. And so it would just be like I could be in the moment of crazed fan with all my other friends who were crazed fans. And she would go to the coffee shop or something. Like she just didn't care. And so I have to kind of think about that in terms of like I've got another friend who has a long-term relationship. He's a big hockey fan, big Dallas Stars fan, and was a big Mizzou fan when we were at Mizzou. And I'm like, has your girlfriend seen, how does that work?
Yeah.
When you really get so into it, and so it's kind of an interesting dynamic sometimes. But.
She's seen me at Mizzou and
Okay.
the Steelers at my.
Oh, the Steelers. Is it Mizzou or the Steelers that can get you going the most? What's like
Probably the Steelers get me going the most. Just because
but they're frustrating.
They're like
fairness.
They're like 3 times more frustrated than Mizzou, which is like insane to think about. But like
you know what to expect with the Steelers. You will make the playoffs. Every year you will make it.
Mhm.
You will lose the first game.
Yeah.
But like it's already predestined. So why I guess that's true of Missouri though too.
I think Mizzou though my expectations are a little lower, if that's sad to say.
For basketball, that is true for me lately. For football, I have allowed myself to dream.
I know I've allowed myself to dream, but every time they lose, I kind of go, same old Mizzou. Like I'm still.
I don't. I've gotten hurt by the football team a few times
recently. I should say that my Mizzou's probably an 8.5, 9, and my Steelers is 10. If that makes sense of
that's fair.
My reactions. Basketball, I don't. Not freakouts, but I'm much more hurt by a Tuesday night loss in January than I should be.
Yeah, it's hard because basketball, it's like, all right, we're winning. There's a few seconds left. All right, now we're losing, but we get the ball.
Yeah.
There's going to be that do or die moment that you're going to see play out. You know what it's supposed to look like. The shot's either going to go in or it's not going to go in. Sometimes, man, with Mizzou basketball, I'm talking over the years, sometimes they don't even get the shot off.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a tough existence.
This Mizzou basketball can't win on Norm Stort's birthday. I think Eli Hawk tweeted since he retired, they're 1-6. Last year, they lost to Will Taylor the fourth on a 3-pointer to walk off in Columbia. This year,
I was in my basement for that one, and I just had to be quiet. I couldn't explode because you got to be responsible adults.
And I was a media member, and I couldn't explode.
Oh, you were at the game. Wow.
I think that it was the same exact score. I think they lost 74-72 to Texas A&M last year on a Wade. Is it Will Taylor?
I think it's Wade Taylor.
Wade Taylor buzzer beater.
67-64.
Okay. Well, either way. Last night it hurt. And basketball's weird because I come in and I have the mixture of being really upset, pessimistic, thinking the season's over. But then again, they could win 3 straight, and it's like, oh, they're close to locking up an NCAA tournament, which is what we said a couple weeks ago as well. They're 3-3. Brendan is just awful.
They don't have the killer instinct to get where we want them to go. Period.
But
they don't.
But you know who does? You know who I think has a killer instinct?
Who?
The 25-year-old Aussie, Jaden Stone. And you know who didn't touch the ball, but throwing the ball into T.O. Barrett?
That's true.
Why in the world was the play not to get T.O. Barrett the catch? Little toss back to Jaden Stone. That's what Sunvold said. Get Jaden Stone moving and make him make a play. Make him cut. If they sink while he's driving, boom, corner, 3. If they don't,
I think
get him to the rack.
Time for all that, by the way.
Yes.
You're urgent about it. By the time T.O. Barrett crossed half court, no, you had desperation pass, and whoever catches it needs to put up a shot.
La-di-da, la-di-da, la-di-da.
I am not fleet of foot. I could have crossed half court against the defense faster than T.O. Barrett did last night.
He walked the ball up the court.
Yep. It's just ridiculous. And this is why I have a problem with Dennis Gates in the in-game coaching arena. They call the timeout for defense, and then their defense results in Sean Phillips flailing at a small dude and fouling him, and the guy makes the bucket anyway. So, obviously that timeout was not well spent, and now you don't have anything to set up what you want to do after a potential made basket.
To be fair, they did have a free throw to where they could sub, but they on that defensive timeout, they put Jacob Cruz on the court and took out Anthony Robinson. Well, I don't care how
Phillips is a tree. He's a tree trunk. He wasn't moving.
Well,
what are we doing?
If you have Anthony Robinson out there, he probably fights over the ball screen and the switch never happens.
Yeah.
T.O. Barrett, not as good of a defender, can't fight through the ball screen, and Sean Phillips gets switched. That was the play, and it worked to perfection. Why in the world is Jacob Cruz out there? He is a probably the worst defender on the team. And 2, why is Anthony Robinson not out there? I don't care what Anthony Robinson has done offensively. I don't care how poor he's been. He's probably the best defender on your team no matter what. Even on his worst day, he's the best defender on the team. Why is he not on the court? And then I know the offensive play was just a one read to Jacob Cruz. You take Trent Pierce out and you put Anthony Robinson back on the court for offense. I mean, just makes no sense at all.
It's coaching. They lost the game from coaching. I think if you gave Dennis Gates 1,000 tries in that scenario, and you can mix it up. Sometimes they're up a point. Sometimes they're down a point with the ball, whatever you want to do. It's a one-possession game, and it's a do-or-die play, either on offense or defense. I think his teams would execute at a lower percentage than just about any team in the SEC.
Yeah.
I've seen it too many times. When they do execute, when they win, somebody makes a majestic three-pointer.
And I'll say this.
They're not supposed to make, like a Golston shot.
Yes.
That's when they win. In those moments is when somebody just goes and makes an unbelievable play. But where is the logic behind some of the decisions? Once again, last night that they fall short in that regard.
I will say, if I have to be fair, the play he drew up for Cruz on the possession before
that was good.
Was amazing. It was a perfect play call. It was not the last play. The
last moment of the game, it seems as though there's always. And maybe, like, if we're doing this fairness concept, maybe there's always going to be, like, when you lose, there's always going to be something that you nitpick and say, well, that's why. It was because they didn't do the right thing on this play. Fair enough. But I don't think we're reaching very hard to suggest that you need it. Again, Theo Barrett handles the 5.5 seconds the way that he does. There's no timeouts to reiterate what you want done if you're Dennis Gates. You practice this. Your coaching needs to be, hey, if we're ever in this situation, you need to operate with urgency. Or there's a free throw happening. You can get the lines of communication going so that it's known, hey, here's who's taking the ball. And if I had to guess, that's what they did. They said, oh, Jacob Cruz is pretty good at threes. Make sure he gets the ball. We'll try to win.
And
ridiculous.
Again,
ridiculous.
I'm not mad because the shot didn't fall. If Cruz would have made that, it's still an awful call.
Awful call, and he's a legend for knocking it down.
To be fair, he almost made it. He hit the front of the rim.
Front rim.
If Cruz would have even gotten the same exact look, I know it might be the only out of bounds timeout play that they have for the end of games of Cruz off the little button hook and shooting a 3-pointer on a turnaround 3. If they would have gotten that same exact look, even triple covered like he was from the 3-point line, like not a 30-footer, I'd be okay with it. If Stone
you had a plan that was executed and it just didn't fall, then it didn't fall.
If Stone drives in and misses a layup or doesn't draw the foul or misses a floater or passes out and someone misses a 3, that's fine. I'm not mad because the shot didn't fall. I'm mad because of how incompetent the play call was.
I agree. And I'm okay with if Theo Barrett just brings it up a little bit more quickly and then because his strength really is driving the lane.
Yeah.
And I know if Tyus Edney can do it in 4.8 seconds or whatever it was, you had 5.5.
Yeah.
I'm okay with just driving. And look, if it's a floater from the free throw line because you met some resistance and then okay. But that's better than a 30-footer.
Yeah.
You don't have to have a 3. You're only down by 2 points. So I agree. It's not the result. It's the process that I have a problem with because I don't, with regularity, see a process play out in those final waning moments of a game like that for Missouri and think, wow, they all really knew what they were doing. And that, to me, is coaching. And so that's the disappointment because I once again feel as though Dennis fell short at in the clutch last night. Again, the inbound, the play to Cruz, and he gets an open look. He's great from the very tippy top of the key, and that's where he knocks it down. That we can applaud that. That was freaking awesome. But then to squander it in the way that they did when you've got the advantage and they weren't able to utilize that advantage. And I do believe it was because of shortcomings in the way that they were coached up in the final moments. And I can't come to expect a whole lot different right now.
And there's
from Coach Gates.
Yeah, I agree with you. And there's really no doubt in my mind, if you get that to overtime, you win the game. Momentum's on your side, a raucous environment.
I'm totally comfortable. It's not.
And it's kind of
football on the road where you got to go for a 2-point conversion. Like you can make a 2-pointer and extend the game. Like
but
that's
it's
fine.
kind of like what we talk about with football. If you were on the road, a raucous environment, and you're like, man, we're hanging on. Like if the game went exactly like that, we're hanging on. Let's get a 3-pointer and just end it. We're gonna lose in overtime if we don't hit a
three-pointer.
Yes.
Don't stand on the bench and go, I don't know, Cruz made the last one. Can you pass it to him? Like that's what it looked like.
Yes.
And Georgia knew because they had 3 guys on it, which is why it ends up being a 30-footer. There's no creativity to get him the ball.
Was there even an off-ball screen set?
I don't know if there was anything, but even if there was, Grant, your point guard has to know to bring up the ball more quickly. It's just he was lackadaisical with it. I just don't understand it. I do not get it. And it seems like we've had this conversation before in the waning moments of games, whether it's Barrett, it's been Anthony Robinson at times. They're not rushing up the floor. It's like they've got all the time in the world. And I do not get why that continues to be a trope that we're talking about with this Mizzou basketball team. So, yeah, man, you can look at it and say they can win their next 3 games, whatever. They're going to lose at Alabama for sure.
Yeah.
They should beat Oklahoma and Mississippi State at home. You do that, you're 5-4. Win at South Carolina, they stink. That's a road game that I expect to win.
Yeah.
All right. Like, absolutely, it's still in play. You host Vanderbilt instead of going to Vanderbilt, which is a huge difference, and they're kind of reeling right now all of a sudden. Like, Mizzou could absolutely get to 10 wins in this conference, but not playing like they did last night. But all these games are going to be coin flips, more or less, and I don't trust them to execute in the waning moments of a coin flip game.
The problem is that 10-8 might not be enough. And
I disagree. I don't think that's the problem.
Okay.
Get to 10-8, and like if you're on the bubble and you don't get picked, fine. But like they're not playing like a team that consistently that's going to get 10-8. 10-8 would be a good solid season. We wouldn't if we get left out, we get left out. But we're playing in Dayton at 10-8. I feel pretty confident in that.
It's just that this game is the frustration because this was like the tipping point. It felt like
it was there to be had.
Yeah,
you have to pick up 10 wins at least, and this is one that you were winning it with 5 seconds left or whatever it was.
And you played awful, and you kind of had a stranglehold on the game at one point. You were up by I think 6, and somehow Pat Adams and I think Matt Harris tweeted about this.
Hate him.
Pat Adams just seems to suck any rhyme or rhythm out of the game, even when one that lacks it so much like this one did.
I don't care who they're playing. I don't care what the game is. If it's a ranked game, if they're on the road at home, the next time I see Pat Adams staring into my camera on my TV, I think I'm just going to turn off the TV.
Yes.
Because I already know how it's going to end.
We're going to lose.
And it's going to end 3 hours later.
Yep.
Because he has to review everything and be the star of the show.
Uh-huh.
I am so tired of seeing that guy on my television.
And I think Mizzou was up 5, and then all of a sudden a long review happened. It took all the momentum, all the air out of the building, and they end up losing the game. I don't want to blame it on that, but that definitely had an impact. But this loss, Brendan, it's so big because, Dennis Gates and we kind of look at it in 3 separate, there's 18 games, you take it 6 at a time. You have 6 or 3 mini seasons with 6 games. You had a chance to go 4-2 in this mini season of SEC play. The first, the first third of it, 4-2 would have been unreal. If you go 4-2 in all of your, all the thirds, you're one of the best teams in the country at 12-6 in the SEC. Maybe win the SEC.
Close to the bubble.
And they had a chance to do that, and they just blew the game. They played poorly, and they still should have been handily winning that game. Georgia played worse. Georgia couldn't hit a shot.
Yeah. It's alarming. And like Georgia was 20 some odd and Ken Pom, now they're up to 25 because it's just funny to me that, and I guess you win, you lose, you move up, you move down. Mizzou didn't really move. I think they're still 55th. But I think Mizzou is just as good as, throw them all in a pile. Georgia, Texas, LSU, Auburn. They're all kind of the same. A&M, I think, is going to end up being in that boat. They're all kind of the same. And Missouri's going to beat some of those teams, lose some of those teams. Oklahoma. But I feel like they're going to lose to too many of them to really be able to get. They're going to go about 7-11 in conference. The way that it's trending. Because they can't get over the hump to be able to be the team that they're supposed to be.
I agree.
Their talent is there. Last night tells me that when you're not really playing your best and shots aren't falling, and it's a game against the Georgia team that's number 2 in adjusted tempo in the country, like they want every score to be 90 to 88. And when it's 29-26
at half,
and you're like you're just mucking it up and you're playing not great, but you're in it. Like you've got to win those games at home. So this is the first one that really got to me.
Yeah.
Because you're better than LSU, even though Ken Pom says you're not. All right, you're better than Ole Miss, even though Ken Pom's like, I don't know about that. But you're at home for this one. This is the one that hurts me because they had, to this point, done a good job defending home court against teams that are all in this similar pile, and they did not get it done last night. And that stings, and it does kind of have to force me to reset my trajectory a little bit with this team and just go, I don't think they're a terrible team. I'm not going to go overboard, but I also don't think that they've got the chops to get to where they need to get to for us to be watching them in meaningful basketball games in March.
I think you're right. Sadly, especially after this one, I just don't think they'll win enough games to do it. I think they're good enough to. But
Let me rattle it down for you, and you just call them off, and we'll see where you get.
I was about to do this.
Oklahoma
I was about to do this. Win.
Home game.
Win.
At Alabama.
Loss. 1-1.
Hosting Mississippi State.
Win.
At South Carolina.
Win.
3-1. At A&M.
Loss.
3-2. Hosting Texas, who's been very feisty. They're playing really well.
Win.
There's a Valentine's Day slaughter if we take down the Longhorns. What's that now?
4
and 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 6 games. Hosting Vandy.
Loss.
At Arkansas.
Loss.
That's 4-4. Hosting Tennessee.
Win.
At Mississippi State.
Loss.
At Oklahoma.
Win.
Hosting Arkansas.
Loss.
6-6 to finish. They're 9-9. That's not enough.
No.
And nor should it be. I won't be sitting on Selection Sunday watching with an eye on the Tigers if they go 9-9.
No. Now,
because that's just not good enough.
I definitely think the schedule's there to where it could be 10-8.
It could be 8-10 though too.
Like the games I just named, they'll be favored against Oklahoma. They'll probably be favored against Miss State. There'll be a toss-up against South Carolina. They'll probably be favored against Texas. So
no, Texas
at home,
they're playing really well though, aren't they?
Yeah.
Where's Texas in Ken Pom these days? They are they're 41st. They're nothing crazy.
Okay, so my question to you is going to be:
I'm going to say 8-10 is my official prediction.
I
they're
think
going to drop one of those games that you said win for, but they're going to get the rest of them.
I'm going to go 10-8. I still think they picked one up we're not expecting. What? So. Okay. I asked this question to Chris yesterday on the postgame show. They're 3-3 through their first 6. What would you say they need to do in their next 6 leading up to Vandy to really say, hey, you've given yourself an opportunity now these last 6 games to play yourself in?
To convince me that there's a real shot at this thing. 4-2.
Yep. That's exactly what I said.
Because Oklahoma, Mississippi State are home games that are very winnable.
Yep.
At South Carolina is a road game. I'm kind of bagging on South Carolina quite a bit, but I also think that's because they stink. They're 73rd in Ken Pom. I do believe they're the lowest in the SEC. No, Mississippi State's even lower.
Yeah.
So, I'm saying if you're in those 6-game stretch, you win those 3, and then you find a way at A&M or Alabama, which Alabama, that's just not going to happen.
Or Texas.
So those are probably the losses, and then that means you have to pick up Texas.
And I think if you go in 4-2, leading up to hosting Vandy, 4-2 puts you at what? 7-5 in the SEC. You've given yourself just an incredible opportunity against Vandy.
Because you're at home.
Yeah,
a team that's lost to good teams this year. They've lost 3 straight. I think they've been reeling a little bit. Arkansas popped them last night. And so I would say this: even if they go 3-3 and beat Vandy, you're still kind of on track to have a shot at this thing. But you're really losing calendar quickly at that point because you have to go to Arkansas. Yeah, play Arkansas twice, and they're starting to play some of their better basketball. So yeah, man. But then you can win at Mississippi State. That's 10-8's on the table. I want to see 4-2 in this stretch to believe it happens because I do probably think they lose to Vanderbilt and at Arkansas, which would then drop them back down to 500. But then you can pick one of those teams off like a Tennessee or an Arkansas at home, get Mississippi State on the road, and still have a shot to win 10 games.
I think so too.
I need to see 4-2 in the next 6 to actually think going into Vandy that there's more than just kind of hopium.
Yeah, I agree. Let's go quick break, come back. I want to talk about Anthony Robinson and Sean Phillips on the other side of the break. 2 struggling Tigers, both in their own rights. He's Brendan Schaefer. I'm Grant Salzman. We'll be right back here on the Loot Information Station. We're live and on demand at looinfo.com.
What are the keys to a great night out? Great food and drinks, great prizes, and great friends. Join us Thursday, January 22nd from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Key STL Burger, Bar, and Boogie in the Grand Center Arts District. Enjoy a live broadcast with Cam Jansen and Jim Hayes, plus special guest Matt Adams. Dig into the best smash burgers in town and get your shot at winning opening day Cardinals tickets, autographed merch, and more. That's Thursday, January 22nd, 6 to 8 p.m. at the Key STL, 3225 Olive. Come eat, hang out, and win.
Joined now by the boss, Dave Green. Dave, we're building something pretty special here, but running a growing media company takes more than great content. Tell us why you chose Home Bank for your business banking.
For us, it's all about relationships. With Home Bank, we're not just an account number. We know the people there, and they know us, our goals, and where we're headed. That personal connection makes all the difference.
Greener, when you say relationships, what does that really look like?
They not only know my name, Cam, they know our business. And when I need something, whether it's a phone call or a text, weekday or weekend, morning or night, I get a response from someone I know and help with whatever I need.
That's huge. And for a business like ours, you need a bank that can move at the pace you're moving.
Exactly. We're in a fast-changing media world, and Home Bank has been a steady partner through it all.
Home Bank is a team behind our team. Visit myhomebank.bank or call 855-577-2001.
Home Bank, member FDIC, more than a bank, they're your business partner.
LouInfo.com news headlines brought to you by Brown and Crouppen. GetBC.com.
With your LouInfo.com news, I'm Jared Sorello. St. Louis County Police are releasing video of a deadly officer-involved shooting at a Walgreens in Maryland Heights last November. Footage of the incident shows 23-year-old Jacob Mercer refusing orders to show his hands and then firing gunshots at the officers. They returned fire and fatally struck him. Franklin County residents are voicing opposition to the possibility of a data center being built in their area. Hundreds were in attendance at a county planning and zoning commission meeting last night where they considered a proposal to rezone more than 570 acres of farmland near the Shaw Nature Preserve for a data center complex. And St. Louis residents could soon see an increase to their water bill. The city water department says it's conducting a review of its rates as it faces a serious financial situation. Water officials say the department's revenue is not keeping up with rising costs. The Lou Information Station is streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com. I'm Jared Sorello.
Now, LouInfo.com weather. Presented by STL Sports Central. St. Louis sports. Anytime, anywhere.
Here's your LouInfo.com weather update. We're watching an Arctic cold front that'll be arriving over our area on Friday. For now, we'll stay fairly mild. Low 40s on today's high, partly cloudy. Mid-20s overnight, breezy and clear. And then we're in the upper 30s with a mix of sunshine and clouds on Thursday. Mid-teens is about it for the high on Friday and cloudy. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton for the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com and the free Lou Info app.
Today, business moves fast. Don't fall behind your competitors. Contact CTS, Commercial Technology Solutions, today for your voice and data needs, including networking, internet, and video conferencing. We offer 24-hour emergency service with competitive rates and an A+ rating from the BBB. At Commercial Technology Solutions, it's all about service, solutions, and stability. Contact them in Missouri at 314-421-3550, in Illinois at 618-452-3550, and online at ctsphone.com.
The Earl Austin Experience with Earl Austin Jr. Saturday mornings from 9 to 11. Brought to you by Fast Track Auto Transport, St. Louis's go-to company for all your vehicle transport needs. Visit ftautotrans.com or call 636-677-9004.
After a long day, nothing beats kicking back in a brand new hot tub from St. Louis Hot Tub Warehouse. These guys are the real deal. They've been around for over 38 years and got more than 400 five-star reviews, and they've earned every single one of them. They sell premium, American-made hot tubs. USA, baby. And because they keep their overhead low, they pass the savings right on to you. You're getting better quality at a better price. And here's the best part. No hidden fees. No surprises. No, oh, by the way, charges. And if you find a comparable hot tub cheaper at a local dealer, they'll beat that price. Guaranteed. That's right. Best price guarantee. No one's beating them. Plus, when you buy from St. Louis Hot Tub Warehouse, you're buying from a company that's been here for decades. and they'll be here to service your tub for as long as you own it. Check them out at besthottubprices.com. That's besthottubprices.com. St. Louis Hot Tub Warehouse, highest quality, best price.
Tune in each week as STL Sports Central, the Lou Information Station, and the Too Many Men on the Mic podcast present the Mid-States Club Hockey Association Game of the Week. Brought to you by Mattingly Lumber, Vantage Credit Union, Chicken and Pickle, and by the Watson Private Wealth Group at Stifel.
Welcome back to MIZ Central on the Lou Information Station. We're live and on demand at louinfo.com. I'm Grant Salzman. He's Brennan Schaefer. Brennan, who are you most frustrated with on this Missouri Tiger team? I think there's a couple players that come to mind for me. Who leads the list for you?
Well, I'm most frustrated with the coach, but if you have to make me name a player, it would be Anthony Robinson.
Yeah.
Because in his case, I know you want to talk about Sean Phillips as well.
Yes, I do.
In Robinson's case, I believe him to be capable of so much more.
Yeah.
With Phillips, I kind of like, yeah, he's the latest big man who can't score and can't do the stuff that big men are supposed to be able to do that we have had at Missouri in the last 3-4 years. Like this, we're used to this. Robinson, we've seen the flashes, and I think I expect better of him, and so that's the disappointment when he doesn't play up to the standard.
Yeah, I think in his last 3 games, he's made 3 field goals. I mean, that's
good grief.
Another
non-factor.
Yeah, I mean, another. Let's see, he went 1 for 7 from the field, 0 for 4 from 3, 2 for 2 from the free throw line. Just a brutal couple days for him. It's just. I don't know I can't quite put my finger on the issue. Is there anything you've seen that you think could be is it as simple as he's just not playing well?
Yeah, I mean, he goes through spurts where he's just so erratic at times, and now it seems like, you get into a spot where you're almost afraid to make a mistake.
Yes.
And then you're not playing the way that you're capable of playing. And like Dennis Gates, I think, is picky and choosy when he decides to call out a player in press events or whatever the case may be. And, he said that this past week will go as far as Anthony Robinson's play will take us. And that's kind of the way to say, like, yeah, we do need more from this guy. It's just a concern because although I started this by saying my disappointment comes from knowing he's capable of better, like maybe he's not. Maybe the roller coaster just is what it is. And you're going to get some good, some bad. And when you're going through the bad stretch, you're just not going to be able to rely upon him.
Yeah.
And like that doesn't really work. I think we saw that to a T last night because it's T.O. Barrett bringing up the ball in the final play. And we saw more of T.O. Barrett, and I thought he played largely pretty well. I hated the way he handled that final 5 seconds. But, if that's what it looks like when you're trying to rely more upon T.O. Barrett because you're not getting what you need from Anthony Robinson, and then he, lets you down too, then that's what's left. What's left to try?
Yeah.
If both of the point guards, this is Robinson's year to be the guy, and he just hasn't been. That's really all there is to it.
And I think the most concerning factor about Anthony Robinson is we've seen days and stretches where he doesn't score well. It's okay, but he had 9 assists still, or he had 10 assists. Like he had 4 steals, had 8 assists. He's still a factor even when he's not scoring. 4 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, and a steal.
How many minutes last night?
He had 26. T.O. Barrett had 28 minutes.
Yeah, I noticed there was a lot more T.O. Barrett, and I generally don't mind it because I don't think you've been getting what you need from Robinson. But then you get down to the crunch, and the Barrett lets you down too. So.
Yeah, and I liked, and I thought a smart move by Dennis Gates was to let Jaden Stone carry the ball a little bit more. He scored a little less. I don't think he even scored in the first half.
I want him touching the rock, though. I want him involved.
13 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, though, which I believe is close to his season high. He led the team. He also had 3 steals. He's the best player on this team.
Yeah. It's funny he started the season as this. He's a 6th man of the year. If he's your 6th man, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Because he needs to be playing the most minutes on the team.
And I don't think, and this isn't a situation either where it's like, oh, he's the best player on a bad team. Like, He's the best player on this team because he's really good.
Yeah.
He'd be I think, one of the better.
He could play for anybody in this league.
Yes.
Might not be their best player. Might not even start for everybody in the league, but he would be a real contributor for any team in the SEC. I
100%, without a doubt. And somebody in this room said that when he was out and wanted to give you the caveat. And I think,
look at where we are. We're still looking at a team that's probably not going to the tournament.
Yeah, that's true, but it's a lot better than we thought.
They're better than I thought they were, though, because he's back. And Trent Pierce, by the way, has generally been really, really strong.
Yes, like he was poor yesterday.
There were times last year where you're frustrated with him, and maybe yesterday is another example. But I would say that him coming back at the same time as Stone definitely is the only reason that we're even having this conversation, rather than the conversation of, are they going to win 4 conference games or 5?
Yeah.
Like, we're still talking about this being a season where they can make some noise because both those guys came back. I think that's an important distinction there.
And again, I think that Trent Pierce has taken he was so inconsistent last year. If what we're considering a poor performance from him is in 19 minutes, 8 points, 3 rebounds, 3 for 8 shooting, made a 3, had an electrifying dunk. If that's his bad night, I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? Like, he was contributing. Like, it was fine. Now, here's the guy I want to talk about. Sean Phillips Jr.
What do you want to say? What do you want to talk about?
Now, I don't want to call out a 7-1 man because
he can beat you up.
Yeah, he could beat me up pretty handily.
All these guys could beat me up. By the way,
yeah. Yes, 100%. But
like Jacob Cruz would rock me, so I got to be careful.
Yeah. Oh, Jacob Cruz is a large individual. Yeah. Like really large. This
very strong.
Brings me. He's 6'8". This brings me. This is way off topic, but my mom once was like talking about Dennis Gates, this one of her friends, and she's like, "Oh yeah, like he's so awesome. Like he's just a short little guy. Like he's so awesome." I was like, "Mom, what?" She's like, "What?" He's like,
stood next to him.
He's a little. I was like, "Mom, he's like 6'3", 6'4". I was like, he looks tiny because all his players.
He's always standing next to guys who are 7 feet tall.
Yes.
That's funny.
But Sean Phillips is soft. Like I don't like using that word, but Sean
Not
Phillips,
when a guy's 7'1".
He's soft. Like
I mean,
it's impossible. He plays soft. 2 rebounds. You're getting out rebounded by Jacob Cruz, Mark Mitchell, Anthony Robinson, Jaden Stone, Trent Pierce. Sebastian Mack played 5 minutes and grabbed half your rebounds. Now, yes, part of guards grabbing rebounds because you boxed out your man. I understand that. But you were brought in. I don't care what you do offensively. You were brought in for your defense, your physicality, rim protection, and grabbing rebounds.
The rim against a guy who's 5'10".
5'10". If you're going to let him get a shot off, clobber him. Just make sure that ball doesn't get up in the air. I'll take my chances that he misses a free throw. And we're going in tied in overtime.
Was that Millender that made that shot?
Yeah, it was Smurf.
They literally, I mean, you're 7'1", and a dude that's named Smurf gets an and 1 on you with the game on the line.
That's disheartening.
That is the dictionary definition of soft basketball play.
Soft basketball. And he went up like backwards, like, oh, excuse me. Like,
I need Pat Adams going to the monitor to see if you should be ejected from the game.
Yes.
For the foul. I do not need you to tap him so lightly that he still scores.
And then, the most irking play of all, and it somehow only led to 1 Georgia point. I believe Mizzou's reeling at this point. They haven't scored for what felt like a year. Somehow Jaden Stone made a pull-up 3-pointer that got you within 2, and you gave up 5 offensive
that was so bad.
Rebounds.
That one inspired. I try not to tweet throughout the basketball games as much because you could be tweeting on every possession.
Yes.
But I just said that can't happen. Like, you got to rebound the basketball. That was terrible.
It's 67-62. Jaden Stone finally breaks this drought, drills a 3. I'll talk you through it here, Brendan. Okay. Blue Kane, which, by the way, I dislike him so much not because he's like a bad guy, just because he always kills Mizzou, it feels like, and his name is sick.
Too. We don't know.
Miss 3-point, miss shot, grabs his own rebound. Cannon Catchings, also an awesome name. Georgia has some awesome names.
They do.
Misses a 3-point shot. Samoto Cyril, offensive rebound. Smurf misses a 2-point shot. Smurf, 5'10", grabs his own offensive rebound. Blue Cane misses a 3-point shot. Surreal, who is the center on Georgia, Sean Phillips' guy, grabs an offensive rebound. Then Surreal gets fouled. Somehow it only led to a point, but it's so much more than that because then it leads to the TV timeout. The building's dead again. You had a chance multiple times to grab that board, and there was a guard or two to kick the transition, and you probably find yourself in a tie game, and the place is going nuts. Georgia calls a timeout. Like, it's plays like that the 5 games and 1 was like, okay. 2, I was like, all right, just grab the board. Jacob Cruz had his both hands and arms on the basketball and got it ripped away from him by Smurf.
What's the guy's name? It sounds derogatory. It really does.
Marcus Smurf Millender.
This Smurf ended up. No, that's really what they call him. I promise.
Marcus Smurf Millender is his name.
If you are 7-1, you can't get beat like that by a guy named Smurf.
Nope.
That is my rule. That's my only rule. And I will say there were moments earlier. My first tweet of the night was a positive one about Sean Phillips because we saw him being aggressive in the offensive.
He was
end.
good offensively.
But like
4 for 5, made a free throw, got and one, had 9 points.
Made the free throw in the and one as a 47% free throw shooter.
Oh, and of course, this Surreal guy for Georgia, 53% free throw shooter,
knocking them down,
makes 9 for 11. Good Lord.
Good.
If he shoots his average, Mizzou wins by 5.
But that's not it.
No.
I don't want that. I want you to win because you make your free throws and because you be better than them. Everybody should make 9 for 11 from the line. I don't care how tall you are or what your position is. So I'm not going to look at that and go, oh, of course he makes his free throws. Like, it does kind of feel that way. But, you know, that we've done that game before with teams and 3-point shots. And it's like, well, you know what? Defend the 3. With the free throws, can't be better in enough of the other areas to get the job done.
I'm just frustrated still.
No, it's fair to be frustrated.
Blue Cane had 10 rebounds.
I don't know what to say. I mean, this is the existence. It's why I'm a bad parent. I shouldn't have done this to my family because I was already a lost cause. I love Mizzou so much, but they don't need to care about a Tuesday in January like this. Basketball, come on now.
It's basketball. We're upset about a game that they played 35 games. We're upset about 1 loss.
But this is one they really would have. I mean, it's the swing, right? It's
yes.
The swing from, you're 3-3, like you're kind of in the mix, to like, hey, 4-2, everything is good. You have an opportunity to you hit that target of 4 of your next 6. And now you're 8-4. Like, that really felt attainable.
4-2, you're like, we just got to go 500 the rest of the way, and we're in the tournament.
Yeah, and you have really, with the way the schedule lines up for the next few, you do have a chance to go better than 500 in that stretch. And so you would have been theoretically several games above 500, pacing for better than 10-8. And now it's like, well, you just have to claw your way back just to get to that point again.
And
It's a big swing.
And I'm not saying they needed to go 6-0 like in this stretch. But you just lost to 3 teams you're better than. And you probably beat 3 teams that are better than you. But that's what's frustrating. You win one of those that you're better than. Ole Miss, no business of losing. LSU, no business of losing.
But
this
they weren't
game
even close. They played pretty bad against LSU.
They did.
They just never they got behind and they couldn't climb the mountain.
The Ole Miss one and this one are the ones that are
the
most annoying.
And this one's worse because it's against a better team, but it's at home.
Yeah.
Like, figure it out at home. Bottom.
Got any last thoughts, Mr. Schaefer?
No. I'm just bummed because, like,
just bummed.
We would be feeling the momentum all week.
Yeah.
That's the thing where you play 2 games. We would be leading up to Saturday all week. Like, man, they really have a chance to do something.
And you're probably going to be like a 6-point favorite against Oklahoma.
And now you're terrified because you're like, what if you lose as a favorite? Now it's really over.
Now the season's if they lose against Oklahoma, that's I'm marking that as must-win territory.
Must win for my emotional well-being, for my ability and willingness to believe in the team.
Yes.
Right. Like, they can always bounce back and beat 2 teams that they're not supposed to beat, and then your resume says you're right in there where you want to be. But, like, don't give up and let these type of opportunities go by the wayside. I agree. That's what it comes down to.
All right. Well, that's all the time we have today.
Right.
Frustrating. That was a rant. That felt good.
It was.
We had to get that off our chest. An hour of ranting. Mizzou will be back in action on Saturday against the Oklahoma Sooners. That's a 1 p.m. tip. Stay tuned. We'll have a STL Sports Central post-game show for you there, so tune in over there. Hopefully on Monday, we're talking about a win and previewing maybe an upset over Alabama, Brendan.
Hey, you never know.
Yeah, who knows?
Kind of do.
He's Brent Schaefer. I'm Grant Salzman. This is the Loop Information Station. We're live and on demand at loofinfo.com. Up next, it's Charlie Tuna and the Posse. Congratulations one more time to the Schaefer family. See you, everybody.
Joined now by the boss, Dave Green. Dave, we're building something pretty special